This is the plaintiff, Arthur Bouchard. He says he's known the defendant personally and professionally for years, but that gives him no right to physically assault him. They had a disagreement, and without any warning, the guy exploded in a rage and threw him across the floor, breaking his wrist. The bully and control freak needs to pay the $5,000 he owes for medical bills and lost work, and the time to pay up is now. This is the defendant, Kurt Ruben Dunst. He says he never laid one finger on the plaintiff. He was drunk as a skunk one night, stumbling around, hurting himself without any help from anyone else. That's for sure. The plaintiff suing him for a broken wrist he got when he was pushed? Hardy har, har, har. He's accused of being a bonehead.
Arthur Bouchard?
Yes.
You were suing your former friend, Kurt Ruben Dunst, for $5,000, the statutory maximum in your state, in medical bills and lost wages and a tree replacement. Tell me what happened.
Well, on June 1st, at approximately 12:30 a.m., he came into my home,
Okay.
and I was sleeping, and he was very upset because
Okay, before we go on, clarify something for me. Where were you staying at the time?
I was staying in my mobile home on
In
Valley
your own
Road.
mobile home, which
Yes.
is on the property that you rent or property that he rents?
Property that I own.
That you own. Okay, so you're at your mobile home, and he comes in at 12:30 in the morning, and he's a friend of yours?
Yes,
And you've known him for how long?
approximately 30 years.
30 years. Wow. Okay. And?
Well, he was upset because I used his tractor that day. He was storing his equipment for years on my property, and he was upset because I left a key in it. So he came in, and he picked me up, and he threw me, and I ended up in the next room with a broken wrist. I didn't have a cell phone. I couldn't call an ambulance or anything. He went out into a drive-along camper he had, and he blocked the driveway. I couldn't leave.
Wait, he went into a what?
He had a drive-along camper stored on my property,
What does that mean?
a camper that you can drive down the road.
Okay, and so he parked it to block you from going to a hospital?
Yes,
Where did he park it?
in the driveway.
Did he stay in it?
Yes, all night.
And then what?
Then when he left, then I left.
Then
it.
he left and he moved it?
No, he moved it when he left.
So he moved the camper out of the way because now apparently you can seek medical attention.
Correct.
Okay, and then what happens?
Then I went to the hospital and they found out I had a fracture and 2 fractures in the wrist. I went down to the police station. They wouldn't take a report because it was my word against theirs. I even tried to get a restraining order against them, but they wouldn't. A state wouldn't do a restraining order because he didn't live directly in my mobile home, and we weren't lovers.
And you weren't lovers.
Right.
Okay, so it's not a domestic. Okay.
Right.
All right, so go on.
That was the first incident. The second incident, approximately a week later, I don't have an exact day on that. He had some, and I asked him to remove all his equipment. He had some.
Wait, what happens in between those two? You tell him, get your stuff off my property?
Yes.
And he said what to you? Please, or fine, I don't want to be here, or nothing?
No, he ended up eventually removing all his
But what did
equipment.
he say to you when you said that?
He didn't say much. He just removed his equipment.
Okay.
Then I came home one day and he had broken the lock off the garage and went in the garage. He had some small equipment there, and he replaced the lock. And I called the police on that one. They wouldn't take a report.
He replaced the lock, meaning what?
Meaning he cut the lock off to get into the garage.
And then he did what?
Then he left a new lock and a key.
And the key, the new lock and the key for you. Okay, go
Yes.
on.
I was staying in a campground a couple miles away from my mobile home.
Okay.
Because I was renovating. And it was a very
Whose camper?
It was my camper.
Okay.
He came in there at 3 o'clock in the morning, terrorized me again.
How did he terrorize you this time?
First he came to apologize, but he wasn't making any sense. He was very intoxicated, and I couldn't leave there until he left. Then I heard chainsaw going, and he had dropped.
What time of night or day did you hear a chainsaw going?
This was late morning, early afternoon,
Okay.
and he dropped a tree across.
Where were you at this time? Back in the mobile home?
Back in my mobile home, yes.
Okay, and he did what?
He cut a tree down my driveway, again blocking me in.
Do you have a picture of the tree?
Yes.
Can I see it? What's going on?
Well, to start with, Arthur was remodeling his house, and I have some papers from the campground that I allowed him to stay in.
From the campground that you allowed him to stay in, what does that mean?
Yeah, when he was remodeling his home, he stayed
Right.
at my campground. I have a camper, it's a 38-foot, so he was allowed to live there and drive down the road and repair his property.
Okay. And you say that it's your camper on his campsite or your camper on your own campsite?
We were co-leasers. There was
now
a
you're
lease and a
co-leasers?
co-lease, yes.
Okay. Why before
Yes.
you told me it was
And
all yours?
Because I had made a down payment in the first month's payment, and he didn't want to have anything to do with the place.
Who can show me paperwork that proves up what they are saying?
Me.
Okay, let me see your paperwork. He says that you went into where he was living, regardless of who owns it, and in the middle of the night, and you were drunk, and that you threw him across the room because he had left the keys inside of a tractor. Respond to that, please.
It's a figment of his imagination, Your Honor.
Okay, what actually happened?
From the only time that I've ever visited him during that portion, where you said around June, is where I went over to his house, which would be a trailer. Later in the evening, he was there, and he was sleeping, and if not, he was drunk.
Okay, but you know the day he's talking about where he says you broke his wrist, right? You know what day we're talking about? Because that would coincide with, like, it's probably the day before he says, get all your garbage off my land.
That I'm not sure.
So,
because
but why does he say the next day, get your stuff off my land if nothing happened?
That's a good question, because
Well,
to this day, I haven't figured out when it happened.
Okay, Mr. Ruben Dunst, you have to tell me something that makes sense. And it's very seldom that everything the litigant on the other side is saying is a complete and total figment of his imagination. There's usually that side, and the truth is something in between. But you're asking me to just say there's absolutely nothing on that side and everything is made up and imaginary. Obviously, you two had a confrontation. So start talking to me about what the confrontation, because I'm starting to lose my patience exacting it from you. Now you understand me? Tell me what went wrong between you two.
Okay, I want to see if you guys are the type of people who would walk away from a confrontation or whether you would stand up to it. I am guessing you would walk away.
I would. I'm kind of pacifistic, so I would walk away.
Okay, you would walk away, so I was right. I'm guessing you might stand up to it.
Yeah, up to a point, not to where it got physical. But yes, the issues would be discussed.
I got it. I'm 2 for 2. I am guessing, you know what? You're on the fence with me. I'm guessing you would confront him.
You're incorrect. I would actually walk away.
Damn! You ruined my game!
Sorry.
Going inside the courtroom.
The confrontation started when I went to get my seasonal pass at the campground, which is the Hideaway Cove, and he went into the office when there was another person working, I believe it was a younger girl, and had my name whited out on the card as the owner, had his name put in instead. That was the original and only confrontation verbally that me and him had, because I drove down, brought him back up to the campsite, the office, and had him explain why I was not even on the paperwork.
And did he come in and explain that?
Yes. And it just basically turned out where they whited his name back off and put mine. There's only one owner of any of the campgrounds or trailers at the Hideaway Cove, and he was on it as a visitor, but there's another terminology on the paperwork that a co-leasee, maybe?
Okay.
But I was
All right.
the owner.
Okay.
That was what started the confrontation, and I didn't see him for at least a couple weeks after that.
Show me the date that you went into the emergency room. What was the date that this happened?
6/1.
What's happened
June
since
1st.
6/1?
The incident at the campground and
Where the whiting out stuff?
and the breaking in the garage. No, the
Did
whiting
you go
house.
into the garage
Yes.
to get your stuff?
Yes.
And then you replaced the lock and left him a key to the lock?
2 keys, yes.
Did he take anything other than what was his stuff?
Not to my knowledge.
Did you cut his tree?
No.
Who cut his tree?
That's a good question.
And the picture I'm seeing has a couple of tree trunks. It has like 1, 2, 3, 4 cut down.
I have an arrow pointed to the one that was cut down.
Well, I know that, but I'm wondering why are the... And I have an eyeball that strays from what you want me to look at, because I find that what you want me to look at and what I want to look at might be two different things. So my eyeball went like this and looked at the other thing, so now I need an explanation. Where did those other ones come from?
I have cut a lot of trees on my property. I have harvested the property, but
Right.
not that one. Not
Do you have
that-
any proof that he did that?
Just that I saw him driving on the road.
Okay, when you saw him doing it, did you take a picture of him?
No.
And according to you, does he ever tell you, man, you broke my wrist, look at me, I'm in a cast? Did he ever say anything to you?
No, I found that out through the grapevine.
How did you find it out through the grapevine?
One of our friends apparently was in one of the bar rooms that Arthur frequents, and they told me that Arthur was saying that you broke his arm.
Okay, and what did you say?
Impossible.
Why?
I was never-
I'm looking at you, it doesn't look impossible.
Well, first of all, I was never been around him to spend that much time, and I've never had a physical fight with him.
Mr. Bouchard, how are you going to prove your case? You know how the police tell you it's your word against his?
Correct.
And then every time I ask you for a police report, which, you know, is sort of what happens when someone gets assaulted, and so, you know, you keep telling me, I have no paperwork on anything because they told me to go pound sand. Not once do you have paperwork on anything? Do you have any paperwork from you trying to get a restraining order, you trying to get the police to arrest him for assaulting you and breaking your wrist, anything?
No, I went down
Because,
to
see, that's what I would expect to see on a repeated course of
Right.
events. Some evidence that you call the police and that the police just, for some reason, have it in for you and won't allow you to ever file a report on anything.
I tried to get there's no record of even me going down there and speaking
But
with
you
them.
see the pickle we're in, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Based on that, I find that you are unable to sustain your burden of proof, and I find in favor of the defendant.
Well, unable to prove all these claims, the plaintiff comes out on the losing end of this case. Here, step up a little, up right next to me here, right over here, and come on, right over this way, and just tell me what's your reaction to the outcome here?
Well, my reaction is as a friend, if I was hurt in that mobile home, why did he block me in? Why didn't he help and call an ambulance if he's attesting to the fact that he watched me break my arm?
Why no police report? Why no?
The police,
Nothing.
The police said it was my word against his. There was no witnesses.
You done with him? Friendship's over?
Absolutely.
All right, right around the corner there. Let's see what he has to say. All right, so come on in here. Step in here. What do you think of this? What happened here?
I'm happy it's over. I think that my old friend over there, when we caught him forging my name off the lease over there on the campground, it perturbed him enough where he went a little bit overboard and said all kinds of things. I'm just happy to see this is over with.
Okay, well, Harvey, what do you got?
Real simple. In a 50-50 standoff, the person with a burden of proof loses. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.